Well guys, today the truck search continues and we're just going to continue to look at these trucks. Really love the shade, this color of blue of this Peterbilt behind me here. As you guys may have guessed, we are actually at Peterbilt in Springfield today. So that's what today's video is going to be about. We're going to be looking at Pete's today, which everybody has a fascination with Pete's. Not my favorite truck in the world, and I've always considered them to be slightly overpriced, but they are some nice trucks. And you definitely get what you pay for to a certain extent. But you got to remember at the end of the day that you're paying those interest rates and stuff on that stuff. So with like a Peterbilt, it's going to cost you way more than like what a Freightliner would or a Kenworth. And you got to remember at the end of the day, guys, it is not a beauty contest. You're in this business to make money at the end of the day. The truck is there to make you money. So you've got to be able to set aside what you want for what you need. These are some really nice day cabs right here though. Going back down to Louisiana in the logging woods, I wouldn't mind a day cab. Of course, like what I said in my last video, and I'll probably say it again in this one, that right there is a trucker's worst nightmare. Def tanks and regen, something that you just can't afford to make it as an independent if you got that on your trucks, guys. Def tanks and regen, such ginormous shop cost. Unless if you are in a warranty phase on your trucks that you have and everything, just not worth it. Look at the turnouts on this truck, guys. You don't really see turnouts that big on trucks generally when they're new and just sitting there. I mean, and the one right next to it is just as bad. Have nothing against big stacks like that. Have nothing against straight pipes on a truck until you have a headache and that thing is just sitting back there, especially if they're on the side of your truck, just going like the whole time, like just making your headache so much worse. Just a horrible thing. We're gonna go down here and look at some of these other Peterbilts, the 379s, which is my favorite style of Peterbilt, just like on the Kenworth. And my favorite body style is the W900. There's something about that traditional, I call it the traditional body style of them trucks, guys. It just makes it so, it looks like what a truck should look like. I have nothing against trucks like these, the 389s and all these other body styles and everything though. Look at all the color selections they have here too, guys. I mean, when we were over at Kenworth here a few days ago, if you guys saw that video, they don't really have a lot over there right now. Their dealership definitely is not as big as Peterbilt's over here. I mean, I don't think their sign was as big as Peterbilt's either. But just look at all these different colors here, guys. Again, that kind of purplish blue. Very nice. Very, very nice. Somebody asked me one time, because I used to drive an S10 and now I have a half ton that is also green, and they're like, you're just gonna keep buying everything in a green? And I was like, you know what, to keep it traditional, I might just have to buy a green truck in order to keep up with that. Probably not something that light. If I was gonna do it, this is the color of my pickup right here. It's actually more like this green right here. I don't know, I've always found these trucks, especially with the huge skirts and stuff on the side of them, to just be a pain whenever it comes to try to get under and trying to actually look at and work on. If you have to try to slide in from the side, you just don't have enough room there. Something else, guys, hubs on a truck. I'm not a big fan of this right here. Just not something that I really like. It's just something else that you got to take off. I know it doesn't take very much to take it off, but if you have a blowout or something, just something else you got to take off in order to get your tire off, and just more of a pain than what it like needs to be. Getting over here though, boy, that's a nice black Pete right there. Of course, again, this right here, big no-no, at least for me. Over at Kenworth, their trucks were locked. I wonder if all these will be locked too. Yep, just like what I thought. the eagle headlights, as I call them, on the front. Kind of get into that way more. You don't really, it's kind of ironic in a way, guys, because we are actually across the road. Peterbuilt is right across the road from Buc-ee's in Springfield, and Buc-ee's doesn't allow truck drivers in their store. In fact, I've actually heard from some guys that they've actually gone as far as refusing service even if you park across the road from them. Now, I've never had that happen, but I've heard some horror stories about that happening. I mean, I'm not saying it did happen. I'm just saying that's what I've heard, is that they have this bad tendency of really kind of discriminating against truck drivers. So it could be true, it could not be true. I don't know. It's just the way that it is. I just know that there's some history between one of the owner and a truck driver, or truck drivers, and it's just kind of something. He just does not really care for truck drivers that much stuff, though, which is kind of funny in a way, because he has to have trucks deliver all the stuff that he sells inside of his stores and stuff over there. So I don't know. I just thought it was kind of funny though, because the truck dealership is right across the road from where they built that Buc-ee's. Guess if the def tank's in the front or the back. I mean, it just keeps going back and forth on these. Always fun. Is it locked too? Yep, they're all going to be locked. Down here, back down here to the day cabs. They used to have a blue, like a midnight blue 379 sitting over here. As you guys can tell, there's a lot of trucks to be looked at here and stuff though. I mean, if you were really serious, obviously I'm not going to buy one today, but if you were really serious coming to a dealership like this, it's like, how could you not find something that you would at least want or to have to take home with you that same day? I mean, it's just insane, the fact that they've got so many different styles. I mean, every style that you could want is here, except for the fact I have not found one that it doesn't have def on it yet. Up Kenworth at a Peterbuilt dealership right here. So guys, I'll tell you guys the secret here. It's the same thing with cars. I don't know if they still do this with trucks or not though, but because this is a Kenworth and it's sitting at a Peterbilt dealership, you would actually have a better shot of getting a better deal on this truck, because they want to move it, because it's not a Peterbilt, and that's not like what they sell. They don't sell Kenworths as a primary truck, so they'll want to move it because they don't like these set down here to represent them. It's the same way I've actually known people who've bought pickup trucks and stuff that way. I actually bought a Chevrolet over at an Acura dealership, and actually got a better deal on it, because they don't want that sitting out there, because it's not what they sell, and it's just something that they know they're going to have a hard time selling. Because just like this, people don't come to a Peterbilt dealership to buy a Kenworth, so people don't go to a Acura dealership to buy a Chevrolet. So those are the types of deals that you got to think about when it comes to buying, especially this type of stuff though. I'm sure that I could get a better deal on this Kenworth because it's sitting here at Peterbuilt today. That is my piece of advice here to really help you guys. And the same thing is true on trucks. Now, I know everything is pickup trucks, that is. I know for a fact that a lot of things and everything, guys, it's hard to really understand the fact that these trucks are already so high. But the thing is, these trucks here, they're a tool, and they're made to actually give you guys and help you guys make money at the end of the day. So be sure that you are investing wisely, and the cheaper you get one, by all means get it. As long as it's decent, you don't need the king of the crop of stuff, especially like right out of the gate. But if you're making money, and you have several trucks running, and you want to invest into a nicer one and a newer one, by all means do it. But starting off, this is my advice. This is what I tell people too. Don't lease like right out of the gate, guys. It just is not worth it at the end of the day. Do not lease a truck right out of the gate. Drive for somebody else first, get your feet wet, get out there and actually do it, because without actually, you don't even know if you're gonna like driving or not. So, and your insurance rates, guys, your insurance rates for the first 2 years are gonna be outrageous if you try to do it as an independent. So go and at least drive for another company for a year so your insurance rates can go down, pending you don't have any accidents. But seriously though, guys, that's gonna help you out a lot at the end of the day. Just going and driving for somebody else, especially people don't like the mega carriers, but there are some of the best ways to start because you can get out there and do it. Now, when it comes to getting your CDL through a mega carrier, the jury's still out on that because it depends. Some mega carriers are all right to get your CDL through. The problem is these days is that you are going to have that automatic restriction on there. Of course, I'm sure that every one of these trucks I walk by now, more than most likely, is automatic. Is this what it's going to? They said they aren't even going to make a standard transmission in the next 2 years. But guys, there's still people out there, and there's still a lot of trucking companies out there, and a lot of older trucks out there on the road that are standard. So having that automatic restriction on there is really going to restrict you, so to speak. So just keep that in mind, guys. It just makes sure that at the end of the day that you are playing your cards right and doing everything for you. Back to looking at trucks. Enough of my incessant mumbling right now. Looks like that blue 379 I was talking about is actually down here now. The last time I was here, I feel like it was further down that way, but it's been quite a while. It may not even be the same truck I was looking at, but it looks like something that I was looking at. It's kind of an unusual shade of green right there. Look at this right here. Death, not today. Yeah, that's funny. Up here, yes, because you can't see the tag, so they don't want anybody putting death in the wrong tag. Same thing here. Of course, you should be able to tell by looking at the caps that that is not death. I mean, if that was a death cap, I mean, good lord. Death caps are blue like these most of the time, and they're a lot smaller than those diesel caps. Got a bull wagon and some tankers and a box trailer. Dry box over there in for some repairs, it looks like. Again, guys, hubcaps, definitely not something that I would want. This is what you think at the end of the day. Look at these trucks sitting back here on the back. I mean, it looks like a truck stop back here. I don't know if those are all trucks to be worked on or if they're just new. I would guess by the way that they're lined up that they're probably stuff that they're going to be selling. At that point, it just seems like a lot of trucks that would be just sitting there for no apparent reason. This is that blue 379 though, guys, where it's, I don't think it's the exact one, but it's can't get over how shiny these new fifth wheel plates are whenever you look at these. This is the same color truck that I would buy if I had my preference. I'd buy an older truck, and I'd buy pretty much this exact truck right here. A shade of blue, the midnight blue, is just fantastic. It is also locked. Everything around here is locked. Try the passenger side. Oh, the passenger side's open. Look up in here. Nice sleeper up in here, guys. A lot more room than what I would think. It seemed like to me that the old 379s just didn't have that much room. Of course, there's a pillow and a sheet and stuff in here, so that kind of makes people wonder. I have not inside of somebody's truck, guys. Don't worry, this is just sitting at the dealership when they got out here for sale. Oh boy. Not as many switches or anything as a Kenworth either. And it seems like Kenworths always have a lot of gauges and switches, and the Peterbilts, not so much. Maybe I should have tried the passenger side door on all of them. I don't know. Might have been a better ordeal if I had tried the passenger side door, because the driver's side is locked, but the passenger side is open. Kind of strange to me, because if you can get into it, then why not just have both sides unlocked? Who knows? Look at this black beauty here behind me with the orange. With the orange fenders. It's a pretty cool. As my dad would say, he likes the darker colored trucks just like I do, because for the sole fact of the purpose of, you don't want to wash it all the time if it's like this. We did just have some rain, so if you see any spots on these trucks, that's why. See if, oh, would you look at that? This one's unlocked too. There's a distinguishable smell inside of a cab of a semi-truck. If you grew up with with somebody who drove a semi-truck, then you know exactly what I mean. There's a smell inside the cab that just has it, and it just works that way. Let's see up in here. These things right here on the steering wheel, these are some of the most dangerous things, because you can lose control so easily with these. People used to put them on there all the time. The ones used to be a solid knob, but people say they help, but the old timers will tell you that they just kind of spin you out of control if you aren't careful with what you're doing. Shot the sleeper back there. Got almost 500,000 miles on her right there. Boy, that's a pretty, not sure what year this is, but it's a pretty substantial amount of miles right there. Surprisingly, it doesn't have a gazillion gears like some of them do. You remember when I said earlier, guys, that people just don't know how to drive sticks anymore, because they don't, because everything is like automatic and restricted and everything. But who knows, guys? Definitely something to see. I don't know. Pretty nice interior. Peterbilts to me have always had a more cramped interior, so if you're going to be traveling with people, then definitely make sure that you probably not the best idea if you're going to be traveling with your whole family by your own truck. Traveling with a Peterbilt probably wouldn't be the best idea, because I could lean over right now. I don't know if you guys can see this. It actually just shake this door. I mean, it's like been an old R model Mac or something, which I'm surprised, because these newer ones, you think they develop it, but that's just a typical 370 die. They just don't have a lot of space in them, and not a lot of space between the seats either if you're getting back there into the sleeper. And we're going to end over here with this old purple beauty here. Definitely, a lot of people will tell you that they wouldn't drive a purple truck, or they wouldn't drive this, guys. I would drive anything and everything if you had the option to do it, because that's just how you get better, and that's just how you decide what you really like. And don't be afraid to get in there behind the wheel and just take off. I mean, that's just the way that you learn at the end of the day. I wonder. You walk too. What's weird is some of these are locked and some of them are unlocked. Try the passenger side door just like we did on the other one. Nope, both sides are locked on this one. I guess it just depends on if anybody has came out here and like looked at them. But you think during the day they would keep them open so that way people could come by and see them without having to go get a salesman and bothering them, unless if they were serious about like wanting to buy one. So yeah. I don't know, guys. We're gonna walk back this way, and I'm gonna probably continue and mumbling on here. What's real weird is you used to see trucks all the time that actually had be a good gas truck right there. Them old short stacks, be easy clearance getting in there. You used to be able to find prices on all this stuff. They used to have it like us on the window, but some of these brand new trucks are running like $250,000 now. So they aren't so keen on putting the prices on the stuff though. And you can tell some of these trucks are definitely older. Like this one here is obviously a trade-in. They've had to peel stickers off the door and everything. But guys, just of course that's an International. Funny thing about Internationals too is to me, I don't know if it's because of the fact that I grew up around trucking and stuff though, guys, but an International to me, doesn't matter how old or how new, it seems like they all have this rattle to them, like when they're sitting there at idle. It sounds like they're shaking to me, like they rattle a lot like when they're sitting there at idle. I don't know if that's just because I listen to things different than what most people do, or if it's just the fact that that's just an International thing. I just happen to notice it because, well, I've been around trucks my whole life, but I don't know. But at the end of the day, that's all that you can really say. As you can see, I'm making my way back here now throughout the gazillion peaks they have here. I will say this one more time, guys. One more time. There's a lot of people out there that'll tell you that you're not a real truck driver because you don't drive a Peterbilt. There's a lot of people out there that will tell you that you're not a real truck driver because you're not driving something that has a stick in it. And both of those are false. Now, I will say, as a truck driver, you should be able to drive a stick, but the brand of truck you drive does not make you any more or any less of a truck driver than anybody else. People have this idea if you don't drive a Peterbilt, then you ain't no real driver. I know people that all they've ever drove is Freightliners that can drive circles around people that all they've ever drove is Peterbilts. Has nothing to do with that. It's everything to do with the fact of you got to develop your skill sets. You got to get out there, and the more you do it, the better you get at it. Point blank, at the end of the day, that's all there is to it. And don't be afraid to back up. And guys, safety piece of advice, don't be afraid to get out and look. That's where a lot of people go wrong, especially in the beginning. They're afraid to get out and look. I tell people all the time, you got to get out and look 1,000 times. This applies to backing up a semi-truck. This applies to backing up a pickup truck and trailer. Get out and look, because after you hit something, then it's too late. And you've either ran over somebody or something behind you, and you've got to make sure that doesn't happen. Because at the end of the day, the number one thing is not making money, it's not turning a bunch of loads. It is being safe and making sure that everybody else around you is safe as well, guys. Thank you for watching today's video. God bless each and every one of you. Let me know in the comments down below which one of these trucks you like the best, or if you like me and you would buy old school. I just can't believe I could not find one truck out here today that did not have DEF on it. So it's kind of insane. But at the end of the day though, guys, that's just the world that we're living in now. and everything's got to be new, it seems like, for people in deaf and region. And the more things change, the more they stay the same. God bless each and every one of you. Subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads. Thank you for watching General Exploration and Discovery.